Graduation season is right around the corner, and for some families, that's exciting. For others, it's quietly stressful because the question of how we're actually going to handle college expenses and pay for it sometimes has never really even been discussed or even answered inside the home. Not the savings question, the conversation question. How are we going to fund college? How do we talk to our kids about it? And how do we set boundaries without it turning into a fight every time? When someone falls in love with a school that's out of the price range or what a family can afford, it creates tension. In my experience, most families fall into one of two camps. The first camp writes a check wherever the child wants to go. And look, I completely understand that instinct, but I've also seen what happens when a child has never had to think about the cost of that decision. The second camp says, take whatever loans you need, we'll figure it out later. And I sat across the table from parents who are still paying off their kids' student loans as they're approaching retirement. That really should not happen. Most families I work with are somewhere in the middle, and they just need a simple framework. Here's what I call the family money script. Before the college tours start, before the applications go out, you sit down as a family and you answer 3 simple questions. First, what's the target? How much will we set aside and what will it realistically cover? Maybe it will cover 4 years at an in-state school. Maybe it covers 2 years anywhere. Get specific. Round numbers are fine, but there really does need to be a number. Second, how do we talk to our kids about it? This is the one that I think matters the most, because when your child knows the number going in, the conversation on every college tour drastically changes. It's not, does this feel expensive? It's, can you make this work with what we set aside? That's a completely different question. Third, how do we collaborate on the gap? If there is one, what's the plan? Scholarships, part-time work, maybe a modest loan with a clear payoff timeline. But having that spelled out before emotions are involved makes it all the much easier inside the home. I had a client tell me recently that one of their most valuable things that we did together was just simply walking them through what the actual costs of college are going to be in the future years. Walking them through these questions because their oldest was a junior that year. And they said every college conversation after that felt not easy, but calmer, because everyone in the family knew the rules of the game before they started playing it. That's what a family CFO does. Not just the 529 mechanics, not just the investment strategy, but really giving your family a framework for the conversation, so that when these items do involve money, it becomes a tool your kids understand, not a source of tension, not something that no one wants to touch or talk about inside the home. If your oldest is a few years from college and you haven't had this conversation yet, that's exactly where we start. Send me a message and we'll set up 30 minutes to chat through your own household dynamics as it comes to college funding.